Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Growfolds, and today we will be local store plant shopping at Plant Keeper Inc., which is a nursery out in Dallas, Texas. This is one of my favorite plant nurseries. I've been visiting this nursery for at least the last 5 years. And as you can see here, we've just walked into a jungle oasis of just beautiful, massive, large plants. We've just got several that we're just going to take a look at. I like to spin around Plant Keeper and actually talk to Garen, who is a friend of mine that runs this plant nursery. And as you can see right over here, we've got a gorgeous looking Monstera deliciosa and a large Aglaonema white rain. And the thing about Aglaonema, I love them. These ones are the larger forms that you can see at Plant Keeper. And that's the thing I like about Plant Keeper. If you're looking for a hidden gem, one that not a lot of people know about, and you are in downtown Dallas, please check out Plant Keeper Inc. They've got some large plants like this philodendron silver sword, and they offer really cost-effective pricing. You'll have to just ask the pricing when you get to Plant Keeper, but you can see here they've got several types of plants like Aglaonema, philodendron, snake plants. This one is an Aglaonema ruby. I actually got one of these from Garen at Plant Keeper a little while back, and you can see right over here we've got a philodendron moonlight and then an Aglaonema green papaya. I love philodendron moonlight, and the thing about philodendron moonlight is in order for it to get to keep that yellow foliage, you need to give it a lot of bright indirect light to hold that yellow. And we're gonna just walk around here. There's just a lot of plants to look at, and this is just a quick trip that I took because I was able to meet a local plant foldie, Steven, here, so you may see a cameo from him. But you can see over here, they've got one of our favorites, a plant foldie favorite. This is a Dracaena Tornado. Isn't this lovely? And there's 3 of them in this 10-inch planter. I believe this is a 10-inch planter. And you can see that it's just a stunning looking plant. Dracaenas are always underrated. I don't see a lot of people talking about them. I hope that there could be a bigger following for Dracaena. And you can see there, it's a large ZZ plant that we have here. And then they've got Abigail, which is a dog that's staying around here. And you can see they've got some type of Hoya. I'm not sure what type of Hoya this is, but for my Hoya lovers, there you go. And then they've got a Epipremnum alplissima right there. Really nice looking alplissima. And then we've got a Monstera Adansonia growing up a moss pole here. Really like the look of this one. As you can see, it has attached to the actual pole, and you can see that the leaves have started to get larger. I really like plants that do grow up totem poles, especially when it comes to aroid specific philodendron, Monstera, syngoniums. You get the best sizing on the leaves when it is growing up a pole. Most of these plants grow like this naturally in the wild, and you can see even here this is an Rhaphidophora tetrasperma growing up a totem pole, and you can see that Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, even without a totem pole, it really pushes out strong stems and really wants to grow upward. You can see that the leaves have gotten even larger. You know, some people call this a mini Monstera. It's not actually part of the Monstera family, but needless to say, it is a beautiful plant, one that Plant Keeper offers. And then over here we've got some more plants. We're gonna just pan over here and I'll show you what this particular syngonium is. So this is actually a Syngonium Maria that I gave Garen, who is a really good friend of mine that runs Plant Keeper, a couple years back. See, here's the thing. I have donated several plants in the past to Plant Keeper just because instead of me getting rid of them, they actually have optimal conditions for them to grow. And as you can see here, we've got an Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue growing up a pole. Really nice looking foliage. Again, I love Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue just because it is endemic to my home country, which is the Philippines. That's where my family is from. And we've got a beautiful Pachira aquatica right over here, or a money tree plant. Money tree plants do require bright indirect light to do very well. They can get very large as well. They prefer to be a little bit more root bound, to be honest. And over here we've got a gorgeous looking philodendron squamiferum. I love the fuzzy petioles on the leaves. Really nice looking plant. And we actually have a hard to find Epipremnum Arium enjoy. This is a legitimate enjoy, and you can see that it is a legitimate enjoy because it doesn't have the speckling on the leaves. And then we've got a Schefflera plant right here. But as I pan away, you can see that this place is massive. They will be getting a new shipment in on May 5th, so I will be coming back to do another retake of some of the plants that they have offered. But you can see here what a gorgeous looking Pachira aquatica. It is a large one, and that's the thing. If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you want large plants, definitely go to Plant Keeper because they have Ficus lyrata, for instance, that are at least 15 to 18 feet tall, really large indoor trees. And you can see here as I pan over, they've got one Ficus umbellata right over there that is very tall. But so many beautiful plants. And then right over here, we've got a philodendron fuzzy petiole. I love the texture of the leaves as well as the fuzziness on the petioles. That's where it gets its name. And a bunch of Phalaenopsis orchids. And then this is a massive Philodendron Xanadu. Really like Philodendron Xanadu. Actually, when I was going through the mall, I mean, who does shop at malls? I sometimes just kind of stroll through a mall. They had a bunch of Philodendron Xanadus growing out in the mall, so that's quite interesting. And then Ficus benjalensis. Audrey, I think that's how you pronounce it. And then we've got a Philodendron Prince of Orange right here. Look at how massive this plant is. Isn't that insane? I love it, and I believe this plant is really priced well. If you ask Garen what the pricing is, that would be awesome. Just know that if you go to Plant Keeper, what I love and appreciate about Plant Keeper is they have very healthy looking plants. They have large plants. They've got a great selection like this Philodendron Green Congo. Like, where do you find that? At least in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And a lot of these plants that they have are actually easy to care for plants. I also like the fact that they will not sell a plant to somebody unless they vetted them out and they really know that this person will take care of the plant. You know, oftentimes when you go to a big box store, it doesn't matter how many plants are moved as long as the plants get moved. At Plant Keeper, there are specific plants here, especially like those really large Ficus lyrata, for instance. You know, people don't realize that it takes a long time to produce a plant that size. And so, you know, Plant Keeper will give you all of the tools needed to be able to grow your plant. They'll ask you questions like, what are your lighting conditions? What plants are you specifically looking for? And I really like that a lot. I love the fact that the people behind Plant Keeper are truly passionate about plants. They love plants. And notice that not all of their plants are all these like rare variegated plants. You really have some interesting just plants that some people may find common. I don't mind that at all. And you can see here, we've got a bromeliad. I really love the look of this bromeliad. You know, I just recently added a bromeliad to my collection. I did get it at a grocery store, Kroger, for $2.47. And it was a really good price. But as you can see, my plant foldies. And if you are new to my channel, I do call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Thank you guys for always tuning into my live premiere chat. I have them scheduled at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you are watching this live premiere chat live, please say hello on the chat. I believe Garen, who is also the person who runs Plant Keeper, should be on the chat perhaps. If not, leave comments in the comment section. We'll try to answer as many of those as well. I do love answering your questions on the the comment section. So this plant right here, I'm not 100% sure what the plant ID is. I'm going to assume maybe it's some type of euphorbia. Not 100% sure. So please correct me with that. And then over here, we've got a Tradescantia pallidea, purple heart plant. Really like that a lot. I have been collecting Tradescantias, and that one is a really nice looking one. Look at how it's upright, how it's nice and purple. Really like that dark foliage plants. Very easy to grow. And you can see here, we've got a bunch of Kalanchoe as well. I am starting to learn some of my succulents, so I am a little bit proud of myself. And that's the thing about this YouTube channel. I love to show you guys different types of plants, whether it's big box store plants, indoor plants, outdoor plants, herbs, succulents, all of that. It's a channel for everybody. And I don't know what this particular plant is, but it is quite spiky. I may need some help with the plant ID, so please leave that in the comments with the timestamp. But where can you find in Dallas, Texas, or Dallas-Fort Worth area, huge 6 feet totem poles of philodendron pink princess. Now, I know I featured this before, but look at how massive that is. And that goes to show all of those big those philodendron pink princess that we see at big box stores like Walmart. When you grow it up a totem pole or a moss pole for an extended period of time, they will max out on the size of their leaves. Like, that is absolutely stunning right here. Really like that variegation as well. But do you see how large the leaves are? Look at how beautiful that variegation is on that specific leaf. And that's the thing about philodendron pink princess. Gorgeous looking plant. It's even more gorgeous when it's grown up a totem pole. I wish I would be able to buy one of these totems, but unfortunately I don't really have the space in my home to house a plant as gorgeous and as massive as this. Only Plant Keeper is where you would find some plants like this. And around the corner is one of my favorite monsteras. This is a Monstera subpinnata. It's really hard to find Monstera subpinnatas. It's not something that you would really see ever really at a big box store. And on top of that, you would never really see one that is as mature as this. Notice how large the leaves are because this Monstera subpinnata has been allowed to grow up a totem pole, and it just has its aerial leaves or aerial roots attaching to the pole, and that is just absolutely stunning. I really love that Monstera. Would love to get some cuttings from Garen if he ever decides to chop that, because that is a Monstera I do not have in my collection. And then over here we've got another Ficus lyrata. I swear Plant Keeper has some of the best Ficus lyrata or fiddle fig leaf trees available in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Again, if you are ever visiting the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you want to see some really cool local plant shops, definitely go to Plant Keeper. I can't even get how massive some of these plants are on film. Like, you really have to be in the actual building to feel the jungle vibes and how large these philodendron are. Like this philodendron celium, I think that's how you pronounce it. Look at that, and you can see that it's starting to wood up and actually mature. That is a huge plant. I'm going to assume that that plant is pretty root bound. And then you can see right here, this is one of my favorite philodendrons. This is a philodendron betaphyllum. And look at how the stems have gotten kind of woody and how it's just wrapped itself around that totem. It's already reached the totem. This totem is probably about 6 to 8 feet tall. Really love that. And you can see that the leaves have really gotten that horseshoe look about it, or that just that specific look that you can see on those mature philodendron leaves. And then over here we've got a philodendron squamiferum on a totem. Again, I actually would buy this one. I think this is 4 feet in height in terms of the totem. I could make some space for that, but I just would be afraid that I wouldn't be able to take care of it. I love looking at these plants. I would consider them show plants, if anything. I would hope that anybody buys these plants, they would really provide it a great home. And I do want to show you how massive this philodendron celium is. Again, look at how large that is. Now, I just don't have the space in my home, so I really don't know where that would fit in anybody's homes really, but it is nice to go to Plant Keeper. And one of my favorite philodendrons, this is a philodendron lemon lime. This is one that is common. I love the fact that it is on a totem. Like, there's several philodendron lemon limes growing up this totem, and you can see that it's reached the top up. I believe Plant Keeper has already chopped it up and made some propagations. I would totally do that too, because if you have a totem like that, that is pretty much unlimited propagations you can get. And then right over here we've got a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. Love that. It is on a trellis again, and look at how it's just gotten large. I really need to get a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I don't have one in my collection anymore. I would love to get a variegated one, but again, I am just waiting for these variegated plants to kind of come down in price. Over here is a Ficus elastica melanie. Really like Ficus elastica melanie, just like all ficus plants. And I say this in every single video of mine. Ficus plants need a lot of bright light in order for them to really do well indoors. We have a beautiful Monstera deliciosa leaf here. Look at that fenestration. But as you can see at Plant Keeper, lots of large plants. They don't only have large plants. The majority of the plants are very large. They do have some hanging baskets as well as smaller plants as well. So I'm very excited because from what Garen told me, he already told me the list of plants that are coming on May 5th. It's going to be an amazing restock. Over here, we've got some type of variegated cactus. Not sure what this is. So again, please leave that in the comment section for the plant ID. I would really love to know that as well. And then I've seen these ficus Audrey trees get unloaded a little while back, but you can see they are just full-blown trees. I can't get over the philodendron Xanadu. It's actually a really nice looking philodendron, very dense and full. And as I spin around here, can you talk about how gorgeous this philodendron Macaulay's finale is? Look at that orange new growth, and just the leaf has just so many different types of colors. Gorgeous, gorgeous looking plant. Love Plant Keeper, one of my favorite plant nurseries of all time in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And what I really love about it is the fact that Garen is amazing, the staff is amazing, and they've always been kind to me over the years. And as you can see, I am actually going up this ladder here so I can give you guys a aerial view of what you see when you are atop it. You can imagine yourself being on like a cliffside or a mountain looking over a jungle. What do you guys think? What a gorgeous view, and I'm so happy that I was able to share that with you guys. Plant foldies, what do you guys think of Plant Keeper? And what do you think about this philodendron brantianum growing up a totem? Look at how metallic and silvery the leaves are. The leaves are huge, and obviously I love this philodendron Prince of Orange. I actually would love to get a philodendron to grow that large someday. And you can see right here we've got a Ficus benghalensis Audrey. I think that's how you pronounce it. You know, that's the thing about pronouncing certain plants, my plant foldies. I sometimes struggle with them, and then some of the times I pronounce some of the plants a specific way, and I think we talk about that Hedera helix. I don't know if that the way I say it is going to come back to the channel, so leave that in the comments if you missed that Hedera helix pronunciation. But as you guys can see, I digress. Look at this really cool looking, I believe this is a Hoya. Not sure if it is, so please leave in the comments if that is a Hoya or something else. But look at how it has climbed up and also trailed down. And then we're going to look at a bunch of these plants. So a lot of these plants are easy to care for plants, low light tolerant plants, which is what I love, right? This is a Dracaena lemon surprise. Look at that the variegation and coloration on the leaves. And then the plant foldy favorite, Dracaena tornado. Now I have a lot of plant foldies that live in Canada. Shout out to my Canadian plant foldies. I hope that you guys get these Dracaena tornadoes because they are amazing. And then I love this Sansevieria fernwood mikado. Really like that a lot. They actually have a large form of this that I am gonna possibly buy someday because that is one of the easier snake plants to take care of. And then you already know I love me aglonemas. This is an aglonema very red, and it is indeed very red. Now with this particular aglonema or red aglonemas, you need to give it a lot of bright light in order for it to keep its colors. That's the best way you'll keep the coloration from it. But as I pan over here, you can see that there is a large Sansevieria fernwood. We've got a hanging basket of Epipremnum aureum marble queen, and this Aglonema Juliet. Really like that a lot. And what I like about Aglonema Juliet is there is a Romeo version. The Romeo version actually has wider leaves. It still has the same leaf. The Aglonema Juliet, it has thinner leaves, are more narrow leaves. I really like this a lot, and look at how beautiful this aglonema is. Again, with aglonemas, they prefer to be on the drier side, which works for me because from my previous videos, I talk about collecting plants and what brings us to want to buy so many plants. I always have caution in when I buy a plant just because I have to know how much time I can actually invest in a plant. Like as much as I want to get this this Epipremnum aureum global green pothos on a totem, which is actually very uncommon. I have yet to see anybody else selling a global green pothos on a totem. Look at how large the leaves get. It goes back to, do you have enough time to take care of the plant in terms of its watering requirements, light requirements, requirements, pest control requirements. That's something that I have struggled with. I currently am somewhat struggling with, considering I have a very, very busy schedule. You know, I work at least 10 hours with my actual job. It's a very demanding job, you know, managing people as well as doing YouTube. I almost feel like it's a full-time, considering I invest at least an hour of my time every day to film a big box store, local plant nursery, and then the editing process takes 3 to 4 hours to do and then upload for a live premiere. I'm not complaining. It's just that when you take all of those factors in consideration, then on top of just actually having a life outside of YouTube and work, plants can become a little bit overwhelming. So plant foldies, leave in the comments if you guys ever struggle with like plants, having too many plants in your collection. Do you downsize? Do you find like self-watering planters? What do you do in order to keep up with your plant chores? I'd really like to hear from y'all in the comments section. And over here you can see this table has some really cool, uncommon and rare plants. This is an anthurium water dragon. I really like the look of this anthurium. I only have the blooming anthuriums. You know, anthuriums can be a little bit fussy of a plant, a little bit more of a intermediate, maybe even expert level. I would consider myself a beginner plant keeper. As much as I know about plants, my plant care skills and stuff is still in the beginner level. So I am learning alongside with everybody else watching my videos about plants. But you can see anthuriums, what gorgeous looking anthuriums. I love the fact that Plant Keeper has a couple of varieties. Like look at this one with this really cool texture on the leaves. This is an Anthurium superbia, really nice looking one. It kind of reminds me of a Monstera Peru almost, that really nice texture on the leaves, that deep green, gorgeous looking Anthurium. The one thing I will say about anthuriums is if you are going to grow them in your collection, anthuriums do require a little bit higher humidity. They prefer higher humidity. Now this Dracaena Tornado, however, doesn't really need a lot of humidity. It doesn't really need a lot of anything. It can tolerate being underwatered, which means you don't have to water it often. It can tolerate lower light conditions. Honestly, dry is better for Dracaena. And you can see here, this is one I would really want to get. This is an Anthurium Veitchii King, and it is a pretty good size plant. Look at that. Look at how beautiful the leaves are. I may need to get me an Anthurium Veitchii King from Plant Keeper today or soon. I would like to go, grow my collection. So I was just talking about, downsizing and making sure you have plants, but thus is the dilemma about, growing plants and actually keeping track with plants. You can never stop buying, control yourself from buying plants. At least for me, like this one right here, I need to buy this one. This is an Anthurium Utah. Look at how beautiful the foliage is. I really prefer the leaves more so than the blooms, although the bloom color is a really nice fuchsia color. But look at the shape of the leaves. Look at how large the leaves are. So all of these beautiful anthuriums on this table, I would collect all of them. And that's the part that gets me when it comes to plant shopping and just even looking at plants. I started this YouTube channel about 4.5, 5 months ago when I started like posting videos of plants. And my initial thing was just to really have a venue where I can talk about plants for an hour. And it's really become more of like a community. And that's the exciting part of it. Like Plant Foldies, I can't thank you guys enough always for supporting me and taking the time of your evening to engage with me. It really means a lot. I hope that you guys are getting the same impact that I get from you, and that's just some really positive energy, a really good celebration of plants. And I do want to celebrate this Aglaonema Golden Madonna. Yes, that is going to definitely go home with me. I have decided that I will buy an Aglaonema from Plant Keeper. Some of my larger Aglaonemas have come from Plant Keeper and they are doing fabulous. And let's just walk through this jungle right here, a jungle of like Ficus lyrata or fiddle fig leaf trees. Look at that. That is stunning. And they do deliver. So if you need to schedule a delivery, Plant Keeper does that. All I'm going to say is for those that do go to Plant Keeper because of this video, please tell Garrett you said, hey, from Richie at Growfold. He'll know what I'm talking about, because I do want to really get the word out for Plant Keeper. Not that they need the publicity, because they have a very strong clientele of loyal customers like myself and many others over the years. But the fact that there's just a lot of plant nurseries out in Dallas that do have a lot of people that shop there, it would be really interesting to see more people get into these plants. Like this one right here is an Aglaonema Super Maria. camellia. We were passing by Pachira aquatica, but to go back to it, like how many plant nurseries will you see with such large plants like this one right here? I need to get this one as well. I love the fact that this is a huge Aglaonema BJ Friedman. Some people will say that this is a common Aglaonema. I have yet to really see it make its circles back into a big box store. I do love it. I love that mint green look about Aglaonemas. Actually, going back to Plant Keeper, it's kind of reinvigorating my obsession with Aglaonemas. And you can see here Raven ZZ in a 10-inch planter. Look at that. Where do you find large ZZ plants like this, even a Raven ZZ? But again, looking at all of these large plants, like this is a Dracaena. I'm gonna say it's a lemon lime or some type of Dracaena. And then look at their Phalaenopsis orchids. What did I tell you, plant foldies? No matter where you go, whether it's a grocery store, a big box store, a boutique store, or an amazing plant nursery like this, you will always see Phalaenopsis orchids. One thing I will say about Phalaenopsis orchids is once the bloom is spent and is done, you can repot the Phalaenopsis orchid in a slightly bigger pot. I did want to pan over and do a quick commercial break, and then plant foldies or anybody watching this video, please do not click away. I will come back to the regular program, but I did want to show you how I started Coleus plants from seed. I bought this 72-inch, this 72 space greenhouse from Target, and what you do is you actually water these little pods right here. They will expand. So I wanted to get this all set up for some Coleus seeds that I wanted to start. I actually got the Coleus seeds from Walmart. It's the rainbow version, and I was actually inspired to grow Coleus from seed just because, number one, I wanted to see if I could actually grow Coleus seeds, and then number two, I heard that it is definitely more cost effective to grow the seeds because you get so many seeds as compared to even buying a starter plant for a Coleus plant. They typically range from $1 to $1.97 at Callaway's Nursery, which is a local plant nursery out in Dallas and Fort Worth. They have them for $2.47. But as you can see here, I'm setting up the section where it is a self-watering greenhouse tray. So you want to soak all of the pods with a lot of water, and then once you get all of these soaked up, they will expand, and you just kind of like spread them in. And once they've expanded, you spread them in. I have some of these Coleus seeds. They're super tiny. They're like little dark specks. So honestly, I thought I was just going to put like 1 or 2 seeds in there, but I'm just going to put several. That way, when they do grow, I can actually see them. I am not going to bury the Coleus seeds. That's another thing I will say. You don't necessarily have to bury the Coleus seeds. I wouldn't recommend it. I would just put them at the top of the soil and then kind of push them down a little bit. And since all of the soil is already pre-moistened and spread out, you don't have to do that. Now, if you are starting out with dry soil, what I would do is actually just take a spray bottle and mist the seeds and get them really soaked wet. I like that this particular greenhouse tray has a humidity dome, and that's the thing about seeds. They will grow a lot faster with a humidity dome, and on top of actually having a heating pad as well, a seed heating pad. So I actually bought my seed heating pad from Amazon, and that's also going to heat up the environment to where it's going to give it the most optimal condition. So I got this right here. This is a heat mat. So I'm going to place this and all of the seeds I've planted over. So I actually planted some white marigold seeds, and as you can see here, after a little while, you can see that the humidity is starting to form, but I have this little dome here. It is advised that once the seeds come out that you leave the dome off, but I actually kept it in a lot longer. And this is a result after 30 days later. This is literally me pulling it out after 30 days later. This is today, actually, as I uploaded this video. You can see that the Coleus seeds, the majority of them actually germinated, and you can even see that there are signs of coloration. So within 30 days, you can kind of start telling what the coloration is. I do have a grow light that just sits on here 24 hours. I'm surprised that it hasn't really burned the plants, but you can see certain ones actually had a lot more in the case. I was told by Holius of Coleus that he advised me to kind of thin them out, but I really don't have the heart to thin them out. I'm gonna wait till they get a little bit larger temperature to maybe cool them down and thin them out. But you can see we have a bunch of coleus seeds, and I am so excited to finally share that. Now there are a couple of coleus cuttings that I'm also propagating because I actually forgot to water the other side where all of my marigold seeds and my okra seeds were, and they ended up actually dying. So again, you can see that some of the soil on this side is a little bit dry. I still have a couple of okra, but you can see on the other side though, the coleus seedlings are doing very well. I'm actually going to do a batch of coleus black dragon seeds I got from eBay, and I did also want to show you propagation, so cutting propagations of some coleus seeds. So this one is actually one of the mosaic coleus that I got from Proven Winners. I went ahead and chopped it up, and I am actually using a Starbucks tall drink plastic cup, and also the dome to hold it. I actually got that idea from Mari from Cultivar, Texas. It's a rare plant shop in Houston, Texas. She actually uses clear cups and these little domes to hold the propagation, so that way your leaves don't actually fall into the water. But you can see we've got several different types of cuttings right over here. I love coleus plants. That is my number one obsession right now. I want to just fill up my whole backyard with coleus, and I'll show you this. So this coleus has been sitting in water for about 2 weeks, and I actually found this as a broken stem off of a plant. When I was going big box store plant shopping, I asked the staff if I could just take it since it was already in the ground and somebody was just going to throw it away. But you can see here, look at that. There are several roots already. Like this one is almost ready to be planted. I actually could plant this in soil immediately, but I'm just going to leave it there for a while. But this one is one of the trailing type of coleus plants. Really excited that I was able to rescue that plant. So I did want to show you how to propagate a coleus plant. So this is a starter plant right here, and I'm actually going to cut below the node. There's going to be several of them I'm going to get a couple of cuttings, not just one. So I'm going to cut that down, and then the cool thing about it is the mother plant coleus will shoot out even more growth after that cut. But you can see right here, I'm just cutting under a node, so that's one cutting right there. And then we're going to cut another one right here. And so I got 3 cuttings out of that one large cutting. Now with this, I'm going to actually just take the bottom leaves off because you don't really want the leaves to touch the water. That gives it some potential to rot, and you don't want to do that with the water. And then I also have a little bit of cinnamon powder. Whenever I do cuttings, I dip them in cinnamon powder. Cinnamon powder is an antibacterial, natural antibacterial, and it also helps dry out the wound pretty quickly. So I do that. And then this right here, so I'm going to do something different. First, I'm going to go ahead and seal the top of that cutting. That's a mid cut cutting right there. And then over here, this one has a couple of offshoots, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little small offshoots and actually make smaller cuttings. I'm going to actually propagate those directly in the soil, so we'll see. I'm going to put that in my my seedling tray, but I'm going to go ahead and seal these cuttings right here. Super easy. I already have some of the water. So what I would say is with coleus propagations, you want to change the water maybe every 3 days, at least once a week, to keep the water fresh. All I'm going to do is submerge these coleus cuttings right here. Now these ones are the mid cuts right here. I'm going to just go ahead and submerge them, and eventually I'll do another update of these cuttings. I have been doing so many coleus cuttings because I have so many plants that I can cut from, and I'm thinking I might actually do some more plant giveaways. I'm getting ready to do my plant giveaway for a Monstera Thai constellation, but perhaps plant foldies, I will propagate plants and do plant giveaways on Instagram. So be sure to follow me on Instagram at growfolds. Send me a direct message if you want to connect with me. But you can see some of the smaller cuts that I did. I'm going to experiment and see if I can actually get them to propagate. So I actually just stuck them in the soil on my seed tray, the ones that actually had some free spaces. But you can see right here, I don't really like wasting plants. I like to maximize on propagation. So plant foldies, let me know in the comments if you're the type of person that is just addicted to also multiplying their plants. You can see here, these were pretty fresh cuts as well. I cut those the other day, and I did want to show you what these look like. So it's all submerged, so I would expect to see roots from these cuttings within a week and a half. I will keep you guys posted, but just know that This month I am definitely going to be doing a lot of propagations for coleus plants. I do intend to make coleus bonsai as well as train certain coleus to become a tree so I can grow that indoors. Really excited to do that. And I did want to show you guys a couple of more of my cuttings, just some updates. So this one is actually from my Monstera albo that is very low variegated. So I chopped it up thinking that maybe by chopping it up I'll get some better variegation, but you can see I've got about 4 cuttings. Super excited. And the thing about it is, look at those roots right here. It has rooted. These are ready to go into soil. You can see how healthy the roots are. They're nice, thick, and white. Really love that as well. And it's already doing secondary roots. I mean, this could be planted in soil or some type of substrate soon. So that's something exciting. And even if that Monstera doesn't have a lot of variegation, I just like the fact that it's got beautiful large leaves. And then these ones are from a Philodendron Hederaceum neon. You could see that these cuttings, there's 3 of them, have rooted very well. And the reason why I wanted to root them is I was hoping that I would get that same type of variegation by just taking those specific ones. But I doubt it, but you never know. So I'm definitely going to get these planted up soon. Really like that I have those, free plants. And that's the thing about it, propagations, is I love free plants from it. And you can see we're back to the main video, and that is just looking through the beautiful Plant Keeper Incorporated. Here is another beautiful Aglaonema Golden Bay. Look at how beautiful that is. And then we've got some more Aglaonema Silver Bays. We've got an Aglaonema White Rain over here. And then we got a Aglaonema BJ Freeman and another Aglaonema Golden Madonna. I love the white stems. I think not only does this Aglaonema have beautiful coloration, just the white stems is absolutely stunning. And then the plus about this is, as much color that this plant has, it can tolerate lower light conditions. So if you need a large plant like this to go in a darker space in your home, it may not grow as quickly as it would be and may not have the best colorations, but it can tolerate pretty low light conditions. And that's the reason why I love Aglaonema. People kind of just skip through Aglaonema. That's not something I feel like people are readily collecting. Even when I went to PlantCon 2024, and for those that are new to the channel and haven't seen that, please check out PlantCon 2024. It's a really nice international plant convention that I went to in Houston. But I noticed a lot of people were actually buying more of the rare aeroids like philodendrons, monsteras, but people were not buying even the rare Aglaonemas that were imported from Thailand or Indonesia at that PlantCon. But like, why would you not want to grow Aglaonema? Like, look at this. It's got some silver foliage, metallic foliage, different types. I think this is the actual one I'm going to buy today. I really like the look of it. It's nice and thick. There's several plants here. And the thing I like about Aglaonema is, and you can see that it says do not water, there's a little sign there. The thing I like about Aglaonema is it actually can tolerate being underwatered as well, and they actually self-propagate. And what I mean by self-propagate is it actually grows little shoots that you can separate from the mother plant. That's one effective way to propagate it. And as I turn around here, there's even more low light tolerant plants. So we've got a Raven ZZ here, a large one, as well as a regular ZZ plant. We've got a huge Ficus lyrata here. Look at how tall it is. It's got more of a columnar type growth pattern. And then over here, we've got another type of Anthurium. Let's take a look at what Anthurium this is. This one is labeled Anthurium Big Red in a 6-inch planter. Nice, strong, developed roots as well. I love that a lot. And that's the thing, whenever you go plant shopping, if you see a plant that has roots that are coming out of the drainage holes, that is a plus. That means that plant has some really established root systems. And over here, we've got some 3 feet totems of Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil. Love that a lot. And look at that aerial root. You can literally cut underneath that, stick it in water, and you've got yourself a propagation. And I am actually thinking about getting one of these totems from Plant Keeper. I may get that global green or maybe that Philodendron Hederaceum, but look at this global green pothos on a totem, and you can see that the variegation is extremely high. Some people would even venture to say that this is a lemon meringue pothos based on like the yellowish tone about it. But you can even get this little vine right here and get up to at least 5 new free plants by just taking 5 cuttings from it. And that's the thing about growing a plant collection. You don't necessarily have to buy every single plant. Like my grandmother, who is the source of my plant obsession or my plant interest, she can literally just propagate the same plant and have several free plants. You know, when you talk about plants and how they can be more budget friendly, one way to really get budget friendly plants is, you know, finding a community, like maybe our community, the Grow Folds community, where you can share different types of cuttings or share propagations for free. You know, plants don't need to be expensive for them to be great. Like this one right here, Peperomia Ginny, I got one of these from Green Acres Nursery, another local plant nursery out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Love this a lot, and you can see that it's actually in bloom. Those little rat tails are actually the flowers, and it's also sun stressed because you can see that there is that pink edging on the leaves. Love that a lot. And what sun stressing means, again, is it's receiving a lot of bright light to the point where it's not necessarily burning the plant, but the plant is shooting out even more interesting variegation. And you can see as I walk over here, another totem of a Philodendron heteroraceum Brazil. Love that a lot, next to a Dracaena marginata. And as I pan around here, another Aglonema Juliet. I really need to buy one from Garen. This is one Aglonema I would love to add to my collection, just because a lot of my Aglonema are the wider form leaves. They've got more circular round shapes. This one is more narrow, and I just love the texture and the look of that Aglonema as well. And you can see there's some more jade pothos, or just a regular green jade pothos. We've got a Sansevieria moonshine on that table, but this is a really nice looking Aglonema. And as I turn up here and just pan over here, look at how stunning all of these totems are. Plant Foldies, do you have totems? Are you growing some of your philodendron on totems? Let me know in the comments. Would really like that a lot. So you can see that from a typical big box store, I would say shopping local would be considered what I call big box store alternative shopping, which is basically supporting your local plant nurseries like Plant Keeper. I am a huge supporter of Plant Keeper. They've always been kind to me, and they have amazing plants. Like look at this hanging basket, 8-inch hanging basket of Epiprimna Aria Marble Queen Pothos. And we're gonna go ahead and pan over here and show you guys these beautiful Philodendron heteroraceum Brazil. Look at that one leaf. It's just all yellow neon. Love that look. Love that plant, and it is just a stunning plant. All of these totems are, I really think I should get one of these totems right here, like that global green pothos. I'll need to save a little bit more money, because I will be honest that global green totem is going to be a little bit more pricey. But now this right here is a massive 14-inch planter of an Aglonema Bernardine. I have been looking at that plant for several months. Same thing with this Aglonema Golden Madonna in a 14-inch planter. Where do you find massive Aglonemas like this? I would love to bring that into my space in my home, but I really just don't have the space to be able to grow such a massive plant. It is stunning, and I don't know, Plant Foldies, this just gets me so excited. Like, I love showing you guys different types of plants. Obviously, I've been going to a lot of big box store plants, but anytime I can go to Plant Keeper and just highlight the plants that they have here, it is absolutely amazing. And I do encourage you guys to stay till the very end of this video. There is a surprise for you guys. I want you guys to see it, because I myself have never seen it until today, until I actually visited it. It is one site that I don't think is very common to see for a plant keeper like myself, or somebody who takes care of plants. So please make sure you are staying tuned to the very end. But as you can see here, like, I want to take this Aglonema BJ Friedman. And here's another thing. I know that I'm showing a lot of Aglonemas. I am trying to show you guys as many plants as possible, but you know, it is my YouTube channel, and for some reason I just gravitate to certain plants. So if you have been seeing a plethora of Aglonemas, Epiprimnum Aureums, and you know, my most recent obsession, Coleus plants, that's the reason why you guys are seeing that. For me, I would like to influence people to look at plants that aren't necessarily popular, like that Dracaena Tornado, for instance. Dracaenas is another one I would also talk about, you know, hopefully convincing you guys to buy or add to your collection. But you can see here, look at how massive these Monstera deliciosa leaves are. This reminds me that on Sunday, I will be repotting my Monstera deliciosa. I need to, because I have neglected it. It has literally lived in my garage all this time under a grow light, and that's not fair to the plant. That's almost like plant abuse. And you can see here, look at this gorgeous looking Aglonema Super Maria. That's another Aglonema I'm thinking of buying. Like, I think if Garen and Plant Keeper gets more of these 10-inch starter planters for aglaonema in this size, I would definitely add it. I love the look of it. You know, green aglaonema are gorgeous. They are a little bit more of a vigorous grower as compared to the more colorful aglaonemas. The thing about aglaonemas are they are still a slower growing plant. So like you won't really expect a lot from an aglaonema in terms of its growth, just because it doesn't grow as fast. And I would say that's the only drawback for aglaonemas. Other than that, they're easy to take care of. And you can see here, everything about this plant nursery is gorgeous. Everywhere you turn, it looks like it's just another urban jungle here. And check this out. How many places will you find a massive, and when I say massive looking, Dracaena sublime? Now this is a legit Dracaena, or not Dracaena, oops, Dieffenbachia sublime. Sorry guys, Dieffenbachia sublime. Look at that right here. It is absolutely stunning. And you know what? The health of the plant, it's super healthy. It would almost tempt me to add some more Dieffenbachia. The two Dieffenbachia I have currently growing in my collection are actually outside in my front patio. I've got a Dieffenbachia Sparkle, and I got a Dieffenbachia Cool Beauty, which is a trending tropicals Dieffenbachia. It's a beautiful variegated Dieffenbachia, just because they're easier to take care of outside. They get enough like humidity, and I could just make sure that they get enough light. And that's the thing again, lighting conditions is very important, my plant foldies, when it comes to growing plants. Like you can see here, all of those beautiful fiddle fig leaf trees, yeah, they need a lot of light. You need to give them a lot of light. If you can get away with even growing them outdoors in a patio for the spring and summer, I would do it. For some reason, houseplants in general do better outdoors. They actually size up pretty quickly. And you can see even here, beautiful aglaonema silver bay. Love that a lot. You know, this is a common aglaonema. I would say it's probably the most common aglaonema in terms of availability, alongside with the aglaonema red cyan. But as we pass by here, look at this beautiful Schefflera plant. Really love Scheffleras. And you know, I've been looking at this particular Schefflera at Kroger, but this one is a larger one. And can we talk about this Monstera Thai constellation? So for those that are looking at this $29.99 Kroger Monstera Thai constellations, or even the Costa Farms ones, just know you have to have the space to eventually house a massive monster like that. In about 2 to 3 years, it'll get that large. And you can see here, look at how beautiful these plants are. This is another philodendron hederaceum growing up a totem, and notice how large the leaves are. And then we've got a philodendron micans right here, beautiful velvet leaves. You know, that totem will provide you with so many cuttings, and you will just have unlimited micans. These are all really good. I would consider mother plants. And then this is another Monstera. It starts with an A. I don't know the Monstera. I thought it was a Letriana, but it is not. So like, Garen, please give me some help if you are on the live premiere chat, or even leave that in the comments. Let us know the plant ID for this. Like, you could actually cut that right there. Take a cutting of that, stick that in water. It will root, and you've got yourself another Monstera. But as I pan over here, look at how beautiful these totems are. I would say this is the beauty of Plant Keeper. They've got some amazing plants. And look at that philodendron red imperial, or imperial red over there. Massive plant, and it is a sight to behold. They're not as full as they typically are, so you can tell that people have been buying plants. I don't blame them. I buy my plants here all the time. I would rank Plant Keeper in my top 3 Dallas-Fort Worth area plants, nurseries to shop at. Like, this is a Hoya carrii. So for my Hoya heads, Kathy from Canada, what do you think about this Hoya carrii? I would love to see a Hoya carrii variegated one grow up a totem, but notice how these Hoya carrii leaves get larger as they grow up a totem. So you can grow Hoyas up a totem pole as well, or a moss pole, and you can see that their leaves get very large. It'd be beautiful to see that actually in bloom as well. But you can see over here another philodendron hederaceum Brazil. That one is in a 4 feet totem, and then we've got a 6 feet totem of epipremnum. Hey Steven, that's our plant foldy Steven right here. He just made his his cameo right here. So he and I've actually had a very long chat about just plants at Plant Keeper. Steven, thank you for being so kind to me and just really being a huge support of my channel. You are a kind person, and thank you for just letting me know what impact I have on you and other plant foldies. Plant foldies, I hope to someday be able to meet each and every one of you in person. So if you're ever in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and you can see right here, Steven's excited. He ended up getting that Anthurium Veitchii, King Veitchii, really awesome person. I have actually encouraged Steven to actually create his own YouTube channel. So I hope, Steven, you follow through with it. Just remember, whenever you are on YouTube, what I've learned from Steven and just talking to some of my really close friends, as this channel has really substantially grown with a following, is to remain true to yourself. You know, treat people with kindness, lead with kindness and positivity, be welcoming, and just know that you have to stay true to yourself. I mean, I've even had to kind of reel it back a little bit and kind of think things through about what I really wanted to put on my channel. And I have decided that I will remain Richie of Growfold, and I'm going to make sure that the original Growfolds or plant foldies that have come to my channel and have shown me so much unconditional love and support, I will definitely do that. So that means a certain Hedera helix saying will be coming back to my future videos. But you know, aside from that, I digress. You know, YouTube in general is an awesome place to just really create a plant community. I intend to create a Facebook page for Growfold, so that way all of our plant foldies can get in touch. But I wanted to show you guys this. So this isn't the grand finale. I did want to show you this variegated Hoya compacta, this hanging basket full of them. They just sold a Hoya compacta hanging basket about this size as well. A lucky person came in as I was filming this and got it. But I love Hoya compacta, and it is a sight to behold. And then I'm going to the back of the greenhouse. So they have a secret place where they actually have a lot of other plants growing in just piece. Like these plants pretty much take care of themselves. There is, I think, a watering system in the back, but for the most part they're growing. You could notice that there are some poinsettias still here, and you can see this is what I wanted to show you guys. Variegated Hoya compacta hanging basket. But as I trail down, do you see this? Look at that, beautiful pink blooms. And this Hoya compacta is sun-stressed. You can see that there's some variegated pinks on there, but look at how beautiful the blooms are. And if you could just smell how the blooms smell, it has almost like a chocolate fragrance about it. It is so beautiful, and I got so excited when they, you know, Garen told me that there was a blooming Hoya compacta variegata in the back of their place. This is definitely a plant that they do not have for sale. I can understand why, because if I were able to grow a Hoya compacta like that, I would never sell it. And you can see here, I was telling Garen my obsession of coleus plants. This is a coleus Kong. So coleus Kongs are actually large leaf coleus plants. Look at this right here. He basically says it just has grown as a weed. It's trailed down and it has pretty much self-propagated. And you can see there's actually a syngonium that I gave him a couple years back that has just grown wild. It's literally just shot up and kind of spun around the back part of this greenhouse. When I visit Plant Keeper again, I'm actually going to do a detailed walkthrough of the back part of this this nursery. But you can see this Kong right here is shot out some blooms, and that's about it. So plant foldies, I really hope you enjoyed this little video of a Plant Keeper. I highly encourage you guys checking it out. Please say hi to Garen. This is Richie at Growfolds. Please subscribe to my channel with the notification bell on, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.